Did you know that right now, tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes because of a volcano that's threatening to blow its top? This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's the reality for communities living in the shadow of the Philippines' most active volcano. In just the past few weeks, we've seen a dramatic spike in volcanic activity, with nearly 1,000 rockfall events and multiple volcanic earthquakes recorded in a single day. The ground is swelling, sulfur dioxide emissions are off the charts, and slow-moving lava is already creeping down its slopes. Experts are warning that a hazardous, explosive eruption could happen within weeks or even days. This is the story of Mayon Volcano, a picture-perfect cone that holds a terrifying power and the desperate race against time to save lives before it's too late. The Mayon Volcano, located in the province of Albay in the Philippines, is world-renowned for its almost perfect conical shape. It's a majestic sight, a national icon, and a major tourist attraction. But to geologists and the people who live nearby, its beauty is deceptive. Mayon is the country's most active volcano, a stratovolcano that has erupted over 50 times in the past 500 years. Its history is written in layers of ash and lava, a constant reminder of its destructive potential. The most devastating eruption in recent memory occurred in 1814, a cataclysmic event that buried the entire town of Cagsawa and claimed over 1,200 lives. All that remains today is the stone bell tower of the town's church, sticking out of the ground, a haunting monument to the volcano's power. Fast forward to today, and Mayon is once again showing signs of dangerous unrest. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, has been closely monitoring its every tremor and gasp. For years, the volcano has been in a state of low-level agitation, but recently that has changed dramatically. The alert level has been steadily climbing, signaling that the volcano is entering a more dangerous phase. The current situation is what volcanologists call effusive eruption, where magma flows relatively gently out of the crater. But don't let the word gently fool you. This slow-moving lava is creating unstable deposits on the steep slopes. The real fear is that this could be the prelude to something far worse. A violent, explosive eruption that could send superheated clouds of ash and gas, known as pyroclastic flows, racing down the mountainside at hurricane speeds. It's a scenario that has officials and residents on high alert, bracing for the worst as Mayon continues to stir. The immediate threat is crystal clear. A potential mega-eruption that could devastate everything within its reach. PHIVOLCS has established a 6-kilometer permanent danger zone around the volcano's summit, an area deemed unsafe for human habitation at any time. But as the volcano's activity has intensified, that's no longer enough. The government has now enforced an extended danger zone, forcing the mandatory evacuation of everyone living within it. We're talking about more than 20,000 people from dozens of villages, farmers, families, entire communities, who have had to pack up their lives and move to temporary shelters. Imagine the fear and uncertainty. These people are leaving behind their homes, their farms, and their livelihoods, with no idea when or if they'll be able to return. The evacuation centers are crowded, and resources are stretched thin. The challenge isn't just getting people out, it's keeping them safe and supported for an indefinite period. The local government is grappling with a logistical nightmare, providing food, water, sanitation, and medical care for thousands of displaced individuals. And the danger isn't just from a potential explosion. The current lava flows are creating piles of volcanic debris on the slopes. With the rainy season approaching, there's a severe risk of lahars, fast-moving, destructive mudflows of volcanic material and water that can sweep away bridges, roads, and entire houses miles away from the volcano itself. So residents are facing a double threat: a fiery eruption from above and devastating mudflows from below. It's a high-stakes waiting game where every rumble from the mountain brings a new wave of anxiety. So, what are the geological signs that have scientists so worried? It's not just one thing. It's a combination of factors that paint a very concerning picture. First, there's the seismic activity. Seismometers placed around Mayon are detecting a significant increase in volcanic earthquakes. These aren't the kind of earthquakes you'd feel from a tectonic plate shift. These are tremors caused by magma moving and pushing its way up from deep within the earth. It's like the plumbing system of the volcano is under immense pressure, and these quakes are the creaks and groans of that system being stressed to its limit. In recent weeks, the number of these quakes has gone from a handful a day to hundreds. Then there's the ground deformation. Using GPS and tilt meters, scientists can measure tiny changes in the volcano's shape. And what they're seeing is that Mayon is literally swelling. The ground around the summit is inflating like a balloon as the magma chamber below fills up. This swelling indicates that a huge volume of molten rock is accumulating just beneath the surface, looking for a way out. Another critical indicator is the gas emission. Volcanoes release various gases, but a key one to watch is sulfur dioxide. The amount of sulfur dioxide gas spewing from Mayon's crater has increased dramatically. This tells volcanologists that fresh magma is rising to the surface and releasing its gases, a classic precursor to an eruption. And of course, there's the visual evidence, the incandescent glow at the summit crater at night, the slow but steady extrusion of lava, and the frequent rockfalls. These aren't just rocks tumbling down the slope. These are superheated chunks of the new lava dome breaking off. When you put all these pieces together, the shaking, the swelling, the gas, and the lava, it's an undeniable warning that Mayon is in a state of critical unrest, primed for a major eruptive event. The situation escalated dramatically when Volcanoes made a critical decision. After weeks of observing the increasingly alarming signals, they raised the alert level for Mayon Volcano to level 3 on a 5-level scale. This wasn't just a procedural update, it was a blaring siren. Alert level 3 means that there is a relatively high level of unrest and that magma is at the crater. It signifies that a hazardous eruption is possible within weeks or even days. This was the trigger moment. Immediately following the announcement, the government's disaster response plans kicked into high gear. The provincial government of Albay declared a state of calamity, which allows them to access emergency funds and streamline relief efforts. The primary and most urgent action was the mandatory evacuation of the danger zone. Police and military personnel were deployed to the affected villages, going door to door to ensure that every single resident within the designated radius evacuated to safety. It's a massive undertaking. Convoys of trucks and buses transported families to pre-assigned evacuation centers, mostly schools and public gymnasiums that have been converted into temporary shelters. The government's response has been swift and organized, drawing on lessons learned from Mayon's many previous eruptions. Checkpoints were set up on all roads leading into the danger zone to prevent anyone from re-entering. Authorities have been firm, stressing that this is not a drill and that people's lives are at stake. They've even had to deal with residents who are reluctant to leave their farms and livestock, a common challenge in volcanic evacuations. Alongside the evacuation, relief operations are in full swing. Stockpiles of food, water, hygiene kits, and medicine are being distributed. Mobile kitchens have been set up to provide hot meals. The Department of Health is monitoring the centers to prevent the outbreak of diseases. It's a multi-agency effort, a race to protect the population from a threat that is growing more imminent with each passing hour. To sum it all up, the Mayon Volcano is currently a sleeping giant that is very much waking up. We're witnessing a classic case of volcanic unrest, with all the telltale signs pointing towards a significant and potentially explosive eruption. The alert level is at 3, confirming that magma is near the surface and a hazardous event could be just around the corner. In response, a massive humanitarian operation is underway. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated from the expanded danger zone around the volcano, leaving their homes and livelihoods behind for the safety of crowded temporary shelters. The government and various agencies are working tirelessly to provide for these evacuees, managing the complex logistics of food, shelter, and healthcare while constantly monitoring the volcano's every move. The situation remains tense and uncertain. The slow lava effusion continues, building up unstable material on the volcano's slopes and increasing the risk of deadly pyroclastic flows and lahars. For the people of Albay, it is a nerve-wracking waiting game, living with the constant threat of their beautiful, iconic volcano turning deadly. The world watches on, hoping that the preparations are enough and that tragedy can be averted. What are your thoughts on living so close to an active volcano? Is the beauty worth the risk? Let me know down in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this deep dive interesting, be sure to check out our other videos exploring the power of nature's most extreme events. Thanks for watching and stay safe.